with me and Cherie DeVille to Universal Studios. It had been a hot minute since I'd been, and I knew I had to go on my last LA trip, and so who better to bring than Cherie? Seriously, best vibes and best time ever. I'm so excited to show you what we got into. First stop, Super Nintendo World, baby. We are so beyond pumped to be heading down here, and this is the one place where our VIP passes, the ones that allow us to get in the really short lines for the rides, yeah, they don't work here, which meant we had to get here as soon as the park opened. But look, obviously neither of us are upset about that. In fact, we are having a moment right now. Like, we are so beyond pumped, could barely speak words. Like, look at this. This was honestly a dream come true. But let's rewind just a sec. So this is right before we even went into the park. This is right outside the entrance. We actually stood in line for like 15 minutes just so we could have this little moment. But like, I feel like if you're gonna go, then you gotta just do it all the way. You know what I mean? I don't understand how people can be casually just like walking through this tunnel, because immediately we got in and we just like had to hold hands and skip. Like, it was a vibe, as is this entire place. Like, look at this. My brain is just freaking out like looking at this. Oh my God. We got these power-up bands, and honestly, I don't really know what they do, but it was just fun to like sit under this big yellow brick and make a bunch of noise like we were in the real-life video game. So it was a good dopamine hit, if anything. Since the fast passes didn't work for the Mario Kart ride, we had to get in line, but it was okay because it was so cool. There was so much to look at, so much attention to detail again. This is like a little Yoshi world that we got to stand in. Obviously, we're still freaking pumped. Like, but we made it all the way up to Bowser's Castle, which is where the actual ride was. And like, hello, we are, again, freaking out. Just some moments like inside Bowser's Castle, you'll see how realistic it was, and all these like cool little nooks and crannies to explore. So much fun stuff to look at, and a lot of it was so nostalgic, because if you've ever played the game before, I definitely grew up playing Mario Kart, like, you know, you just understand. So we had a great time even standing in line. We finally got to the front of the line, and they gave us these hats and goggles because it is a VR game. So we sat right down in the car, and it literally felt like we were in the real life Mario Kart. Like, it was a really cool ride, and I highly recommend checking it out if you're not sensitive to sudden movements and lots of stuff happening at once. Immediately after the ride, we head right over to the Simpsons World, right to Krusty Burger, because we were both really hungry and we just needed to like sit down for a bit. We got some fries, and I got a yummy vegan burger. Pro tip, by the way, go to the second floor to eat up here. I don't know if people just don't know about it, but there was like literally nobody on the second floor, so it was a nice break from the public. And also, they had this super cool artwork and stuff to like poke around upstairs, so after we finished eating, we got to see all this cool stuff. It was like a bunch of hidden gems, and definitely neat if you're a Simpsons fan.
Oh my God, it's the...
After that, we went right on over to Krusty's Carnival Midway ride, which is another like sit in the car and it's like a VR situation, but it was so cool. Like, we had the best time ever. Like, you sit down and you really feel like you're in the middle of the Simpsons world. So 10 out of 10 recommend. After that, we went over to Jurassic World to get a really yummy dessert. It was this like red velvet cake thing in a jar. It was definitely not vegan, but I do make an exception for sweets sometimes, and it was definitely so worth the few bites that I did take. And after that, we went over to the Jurassic World ride. Of course, I dropped my phone because, you know, I have to keep things on brand, but it's all good. Screen was totally fine.
I know. Jurassic ride, coaster, wet ride.
This is one ride where those fast passes definitely came in handy. I mean, we got like right on the ride. It took like maybe 5 minutes, and it was as epic as we expected. This ride is definitely one of my all-time favorites at the park. I'm also kind of like a dinosaur nerd, so it was really cool to see like all these creatures up front, up close and personal, but it also made me grateful I was born in this day and age. And it took us on a really cool plunge at the end. I got soaked, and I wish I could have recorded that, but you know, had to protect the phone. And at the end, we got to meet this cute little raptor named Blue, giving us some attitude over here.
Something has caught Blue's attention and heightened that response. She may sense something we can't perceive, right? Velociraptors have incredible senses. Hear, see.
After that, we skipped over to the Universal Studios studio tour because we really just wanted to like sit down and, you know, ride around for like an hour on something that was pretty chill. So this is like the perfect move, and also it was so cool. This tour was also super cool because A, we're both like big fans of Universal and all the stuff that they put out. It's just incredible. But B, it's also because like we are, despite being small screen actresses, we're still actresses. So like it was really neat to see the inner workings of some of our all-time favorite movies and TV shows and everything like that. Like just actually being there, there was a really magical air about the place. And look, this is where Back to the Future was filmed. If anyone is a fan, you know that iconic City Hall from the movie. We made a pit stop in this area. It might have been called Little Mexico. I hope I didn't just butcher that, but it was really neat to see how they did the special effects as far as rainfall and thunderstorm and an entire flood. Like, so crazy. After that, we made a stop in Amity Island, and you guessed it, Jaws. Now, I am absolutely petrified of sharks. This movie traumatized me growing up, so you can imagine how much this freaked me out. Wait for it. After that, we found ourselves back in Jurassic Park World. Was definitely not upset because I love this movie series so much, and it was cool to see all the cages and all the little creatures up close and personal. It felt like we were actually in the movie. It was so neat. After that, we found ourselves on set of War of the Worlds, which again is one of my all-time favorite movies, so it was so cool to see all of this live and in person. After that, we ended up in the Wild Wild West, and it was pretty cool because this is a private property. However, they allowed, I believe it was students from New York Film Academy doing a project over there. So that was pretty neat to see. And then we ended up at the Star Lasso experience, which I believe is from the show Nope. I have not seen it yet, full disclosure, but based on our experience here, I'm thinking I should probably check it out because it definitely seems like a vibe. After that, we got to see some of the most iconic cars from the big screen from over the years. So let me know which ones you spot that you recognize, because I definitely knew pretty much all of these. So that was really cool to see these live and up close in person. The more notable moments winding down the tour, we got to have this super cool Fast and the Furious interactive experience. It felt like we were really there in the movie. And then right after that, we found ourselves at the Bates Motel. So that was a great way to wind things down. If you end up at Universal Studios Hollywood, please do the tour. It is so worth it, and it's such a nice break from all the walking in the public. Last but not least, we are headed to the one, the only, you got it, Harry Potter World. And yes, we're freaking out. So if you haven't been able to tell yet, Cherie and I are both pretty big Harry Potter nerds. Like, we are, okay, maybe obsessed is the better word for it, but you know, whatever, we all have our things. So we've had a lot of fun just poking around Harry Potter World. We obviously had to go to Honeydukes. That was a no-brainer. It was so cool to see all the candy from the movie right up close and personal in our faces. Like, look at that smile. Come on, you can't fake that.
Little Melts 101.
And of course, we had to snag some souvenirs from the candy shop. And my first pick was, you guessed it. Did you guess it? Guess what I get? It is Fizzing Whizbees. And these are so good. It's like chocolate, but it has like Pop Rocks in it. You have to try these. Like, they taste so good, and they're just like a really fun treat to eat. Poked around the candy shop for a few more minutes looking for one final sweet treat to take home with us, and we decided on Bertie Bott's Every Flavor Jelly Beans. I don't know why we did this to ourselves, but I guess, you know, when in Rome, as they say. After that, we went right over to the butterbeer cart, because when you're in Hogsmeade, you get the butterbeer, okay? We got the frozen kind because it was like 100 degrees outside, and I cannot even tell you how good this was. It's like cream soda, but 4.0. It's definitely a sugar bomb. But like, you know, you're there, just get it, just enjoy it, and like eat a salad after, you know what I mean? So good. After that, we went over to Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride. This was so much fun. Not only is the ride wild, you must go on it, but even inside waiting was a lot of fun. Universal really nails it. Like, waiting in line is the most fun. These paintings actually move and talk to you, so don't sleep on this one.
A few moments later.
After that, you just know we had to go to like every single store in Hogsmeade and just see all the cool stuff. And I'm so proud of myself because I wanted to buy one of literally everything. It took a lot of restraint, but I was able to just, you know, keep my bank account happy. But, you know, we still have the Amazon wish list going on. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I kid, but do I really? Like, I totally should have bought one of these owls. Just things that I don't need, but I also kind of do. And this was just like a Harry Potter nerd's dream come true. Like, if you are a fan of Harry Potter in any way, shape, or form, just go here. You'll thank me later. P.S. Side note, Cherie is a Hufflepuff, and I happen to be a Gryffindor for anyone who was wondering. Obviously, we had to make a pit stop over to Ollivander's wand shop. I didn't end up buying anything. Cherie's already got one at home. I just could not make a decision, but it was fun to play with them, and our PA Chad had to remind me to, like, not touch them. We went back to the candy store because there was still a purchase that I had to make, which was one of these pink pygmy puffs. I was so not down at first, but, like, I kept looking at them, and Cherie's like, you know what? You need this. You need this in your life. So thank you, Cherie, because I did end up purchasing a beautiful pink pygmy puff plush pillow. Go ahead and say that 10 times fast. One of these, and my viewers who are part of my world know that I have this proudly sitting on my office couch now, and I am so obsessed with it. It was one of those things that, like, I just needed, you know. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself. You know, we just had to try our sweet treats from the candy store. So first up, we tried the Fizzing Whizbees. Of course, they were absolutely incredible. Like I said, it's like chocolate, but with Pop Rocks in it. Like, do not sleep on these. I'm sure you can find them on the World Wide Web. Please do yourself a favor and give these a try. It was also a great way to cleanse our palates for what came next.
So we're going to very bravely try whatever flavor, every flavor.
This is gonna be a luck of the draw, so please wish us luck because we're definitely gonna need it.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
And I think we should guess the flavors too.
For sure.
Like what you think it is.
Yeah, we're doing
I'm making you go first because I'm terrified.
beautiful. Let's go.
What color is it first?
Green.
It's boogers. It's boogers. It's boogers. It's boogers. It's boogers.
No, this is like lime or something.
Fine.
Okay.
Not so bad. Not so
I got
bad.
lucky with that one. That's
Alright.
pretty good.
My
Color?
bean is like pink.
Vomit.
Stop that right
I'm gonna
now.
guess. Just a guess.
Stop
Could be
it right now.
bubblegum. Could be bubblegum. Could. It's all you.
It's bubblegum.
Oh, perfect. Okay. It's a booger.
Gruel,
Cement.
oatmeal.
It's black pepper. Different. Oh.
This is my last bean.
What is
What
it?
the?
Grass?
I don't know. It's like.
All in all, we had the most magical day ever at Universal Studios Hollywood, and if you ever get the chance to come out to this park, please do yourself a favor and get the VIP pass so you don't have to stand in line, and do it because it is a wonderful day to be had. We'll see you next time.